Great.
Have I got any declaration of interest?
Yes.
Any changes to the register of interests?
No, because we're discussing the walk, so I've done.
Right, okay, so you're not going to get involved with that part of the, which will be
Number 7.
environmental. Okay. Is there any other declarations of peculiarity or requests for dispensation? No? Just go. Okay, the planning list is, I mean, I think if we just look through that, most of these things are things that have actually come up that there hasn't been objected to, or in a couple of cases there's applications withdrawn. But just as a side issue and for public record, with regard to, there's been a 2-day appeal meeting at Maidstone Town Hall, and the support that the Parish Council, every single person was there yesterday. Jackie spent 2 days there. I don't know whether anybody else was actually, he was there as well today, Tom and Janetta. And I think the actual support that people was given on Bell Farm was absolutely excellent. In fact, I don't think there will probably be any other parish council, I might be wrong, and I stand corrected if I am, that would have given the amount of support to the people from Bell Farm South. So from me to you, thank you ever so much, and I'm sure that will be echoed by the residents from Bell Farm. We understand that the decision isn't going to be made for a couple of months. I think that the representations that we as a parish council gave were excellent. Some of those questions that were raised couldn't be answered by the other side. The officers that we actually had with us at Maidstone, once they warmed up, they were extremely good, and I understand today they was exceptional as well. So it really is in the hands of the inspector now, but whatever that decision is, I think we can certainly take our hands off
I don't think we could have done any more.
Absolutely.
No.
I know it's a lot of hard work that went on from this parish council, and a lot of the work that isn't actually seen, and a lot of the reports that was going on behind, and meetings with the residents. But I'm not going to sort of kind of go on too much, but I'll sing your praises for you tonight.
Thank you.
I'd just like to congratulate Jackie
Absolutely.
for her input to the inspector. I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was measured, perfect.
Calculated. Okay, on to the communications. Do you have any communications?
Well, I haven't got a report. I've just got, we've had some leaflets. Where's the doggy leaflets?
That one?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, about dog fouling.
Right.
Have you got one, Mr. Chairman?
I haven't actually, Madam Vice Chairman.
So, work of art. You
That's
saw
a
the
big
final
start,
one,
yeah.
yeah. Jackie?
Probably crazy.
Thompson.
Salty water.
Yeah, Salty Water. And that's our friend from Lennon. Yeah, okay. So we've had those done in-house, so it cost very little actually. I had help with the graphics from Janetta. So hopefully people will take note. I'm going to take some over to the vet tomorrow and the post office. No, I've got to go. And also the good news is our website is up and running. Finally. Amanda did an awful lot of work on it. She's put everything on there that we need to have on there. So yeah, we're live again. And I've tested the little planning notification thing on there, and it's brilliant. You sign up for it, and they send you an email, and there's something happening in Maidstone planning. You know, I've only put in a mile, 2 mile radius, but you can put in much more. So it's worth signing up for that. That's me.
No, that's very good. Thank you very much, Brenda. We can now move on to environmental. Firstly, we need to approve the March environmental meeting minutes. I can considering this, we only Glenda and Fred at the last meeting, but Glenda obviously has got a conflict there, so I think it's actually come to this meeting for us to propose and second, if I'm reading it correctly.
Well, basically, there's a recommendation on there that we needs to be carried forward,
Yeah.
and the easiest way of doing that is to approve the minutes,
Yep.
and then we can talk about the recommendation.
Okay, can I have a proposer for the minutes then, please? Thanks, Matt.
You can't do it because it wasn't there.
Oh, you wasn't
Oh, because I'm in the meeting.
It's
Sorry.
Fred.
So
It's Fred.
Fred.
So,
So we've got a
well,
proposer.
well, you can approve the minutes. You can
Yeah, I'll propose the minutes.
So they're approved and
Okay. Okay, but there is one recommendation from
you just want to sign
Yeah.
the bottom of that.
We've got one recommendation from the Environmental Committee, which is the algae treatment to the lake. Has anybody got any comments on that at all before we?
Just
It does.
summarise it. So
Yeah, it does. If you summarise it.
Yeah, sure. Basically, there's a problem with the algae in the lake, in that it's not doing the lake's health any good, and it creates a horrible bomb in summer. Councillor Dean's family talked to various people to try and find ways of dealing with it. Some were impractical, like let's drain the lake, dredge it all out, and dispose of the sludge, and that's going to cost many thousands of pounds. And then what do you do with the sludge? So that went by the wayside. The best suggestion appears to be you could treat the water and then hence the underlying silt with something called aquaplankton, or there is a cheaper substitute that you can use, bioaqua, I think it's called, and that seems to be the best bet. The suggestion that we've had from the experts we've sought advice from is basically dump 3 tons of stuff into the lake, but you've got to put it in from a boat, evenly spread, and then agitate it as the motor. The cost of the material is £640 per tonne, plus VAT, we get that back, and it would cost £470 to pay the people to put it in. So you're basically looking at about £1,100 to give the lake a good treatment. It might need to be repeated in subsequent years, but we'll wait and see on that one.
I'm quite confident that
They've got to make a difference, certainly.
Yes,
And the best bit is it doesn't affect the parish council budgets at all because it comes out of the Woodlands Water Main.
of course. Okay, has anybody got any questions on that before we go to a vote? It's something that's got to be done, so it's.
I suppose my question is that the stuff they're putting in is ultra safe and
Yeah, it is. It's used in fish farms,
that's
so
what
it's
was
perfectly
What's the
safe.
point these are on? Their fishing on.
Yes.
that is what
Yeah.
was asked.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Answers my question too.
Good question, so it's safe, there's not going to be lots of
Mm.
dead fish or dead
And
swine.
it's a natural product. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Well, I think we can just take it. Jeanette is proposing it, and I've got a second it there. And Max seconded it. Yes, Max seconded it.
Rule was played.
We're all in favour? Of course we are.
Councillor Dean.
Of course, yes. We've got a fence issue which Councillor Dean can speak about. And if you'd like to just talk us through.
Yeah, the gentleman that lives in the White House next to Woodlands Walk, in the last lot of high winds, his fence came under a bit of pressure, and it's not his fence, it's our fence. He wanted us to repair it, or he wanted us to replace it actually. And I got some fencing people out, and they said no, our side of the fence, i.e. Woodlands Walk side of the fence, is okay. It's not rotting or anything, but his side, the gravel boards are rotting, and they can be replaced. The gravel boards and 2 posts need replacing because they're wobbly, and that would cost £440 to do the repair. to remove the existing fence, which is what the resident actually would like, which is approximately 50 feet long, and install the same fence as further down Woodlands Walk, would cost £1,225.
Well, just an observation, given the fact that our side, or Woodlands Walk side, it would take £440 to repair. Should we make an offer to the resident paying £440 towards the replacement of the whole fence?
Well,
Just
the
a
whole
thought.
run of that fence down Woodlands Walk belongs to the council,
Right.
and most of it was replaced some couple of years ago, 3 years ago,
Is that right?
by Loza and Loader, was it? And I don't understand why they didn't replace the whole run of it.
Right.
So there's 50 foot of this fence at this end of Woodlands Walk is the old fence,
Right.
and that's the bit that's damaged.
Yeah, I mean, what sort of responsibility do we have as a?
Well, it has to be safe, doesn't
It's
it?
got to be
Yeah.
safe.
It has to be safe.
Right.
This might sound like a silly question, but what is the purpose of the fence?
It's a boundary
Boundary.
fence.
Yeah. Why does it have to be what it is?
There's always been a wooden fence there, to my
That's
knowledge.
not anything, but yeah, I know what you're saying. It's,
Yeah. A fence marking a boundary could be anything.
Yes, it can, but we can't put up a wire mesh fence there. I think that would be very unfair. And I suspect it wouldn't cost an awful lot less than 440 quid. It'd probably cost more if we
No.
took to take the fence away, the existing wooden fence.
But if we was to actually repair the existing fence, I'm just looking at the cost options here, to actually, and once it replace 5 baseboards, fix the mortise joints where they've come adrift and remove any waste,
Yeah.
would that be sufficient to put it back into?
Oh yeah.
It would be.
Ideally, I guess he would like us to replace it with new fencing so it matches the rest of the run, which runs right the way down the length of his property. So he would like it matching, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think that is the issue, isn't it?
yeah, so our sort of statutory duty would be the £440
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So,
Mr. Chairman, should we be writing to him saying what our conclusions are?
Well,
What I'm concerned about is the contractor gets put the fence up, I can imagine him standing, so that's not good enough, I want this doing, I want that doing.
well, they will be our contractors, so whatever he says.
Oh, forgive me, sorry.
Yeah, it won't matter, will it? So,
But he will be in attendance, plus.
I don't know.
In fact,
It doesn't need to be because
No,
it's
but
easily
I
accessed.
imagine he.
I think the best solution, as you suggested, is we write to him and say, this is what we're prepared to do, we're prepared to repair it. If you want a new fence,
We'll give you 440
We'll give you-
towards it.
Actually, that would be the wrong way round. It would be, we would be willing to repair the fence for 440. If he wants it replaced, he would need to contribute the balance, because it's still going to be our contractors and our
Yeah,
contractors.
right.
Which has advantage of saving
Okay.
VAT.
Yeah.
of-
Right way round.
Yeah.
But obviously there is an acceptance, we've got to put it on, so it's, yeah.
No, I think we do. It is falling down.
So the vote would be taken on the 440.
On
which
the
we've got really no
440,
choice
yes,
anyway.
which is our sort of liability,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. Okay, well, could I have a proposer, please, that we repair the existing fence? In fact, if we can actually take the proposal as item, have you got the fence issues at entrance to Woodlands Walk, number 1, if that is the proposal, and if we could have a proposal, please.
Propose that.
Okay, thanks. And seconded Jackie, yeah, so we got Mac and Jackie. And all in favour?
So do we give them the option to pay the extra £100 replacement?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're voting 440.
Yes. environmental matters that anybody would want to discuss? No? Okay, we can go on to item 8 on the agenda, which is finance. Which I will just, is there anything you'd like to say on that at all? Michael, are you still doing the previous bit?
No, I've caught up with you.
You are, right, okay.
It's basically just the usual income expenditure spreadsheets.
Okay.
Hopefully we've really seen.
Yes. Has everybody seen those reports? Can you go straight to a proposal on that, please? Proposer. Just for those votes. And a second there, Mr. Brendan.
And all in favour?
All in favour? Okay, next.
I'm sorry.
More sign. We should both sign. Okay, the next item on the agenda, which is part of the finance report, is the approval of the invoice for the church building hire. If I can let you talk us through this one.
Yeah, sure. We've had an invoice from the church in relationship to hiring the building for the annual parish meeting at the end of April. Basically, it's come up for a specific approval because it's an unusual supplier. The issue is essentially we would be happy to use this hall and the big hall for the annual parish meeting as we always have done in the past, apart from a couple of times when we've used Poe Park. But we had a text saying the trustees were not prepared to cancel the bookings they've already got on those rooms, so we had to seek an alternative venue basically. So that was by an email from the booking clerk. So we found an alternative venue, and it's going to cost us the same as the hall hire would have cost last year. So that's what we saved us a few pennies as well.
Okay.
So all I need really is a proposal saying that I could pay that bill.
Janetta and Brenda. All in favour?
Absolutely.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to? Sorry.
Michael?
No, that's all right.
I'm congratulating him on having the original idea in the first place.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Oh, right. Oh, tremendous. Yeah, Fred, you're a superstar. Yeah. Is that millions? No.
If you want to
not the exact wording.
Yeah, neat move.
Yeah. Okay, is there anything else, Mike, you'd like to talk about on the report?
Well, the next thing, still on the
I've got a grant request.
Got a grant
That's
request.
someone
Oh,
else.
they fund,
Yeah.
yeah, that is on finance, so
Okay.
you want to cover that too?
Yes,
Yes.
got your name right.
Right, this current financial year, which finishes at the end of this week, we, as a council, said that we would be prepared to allocate £500 for the Summer Fun Club in the next financial year, or to put another way, this coming June. I subsequently had an email from the club saying, where's the money? To which I replied, well, firstly, we can't until April anyway, because it's got to be in the right financial year. But we also need to have, as a result of that discussion when we set aside the money, certain bits of paper, which basically consisted of any conversations they'd had with Ofsted, copy of insurance, and child protection policies, and confirmation of the DBS checks for volunteers. Plus the normal grant application stuff, by which I mean the form and the accounts. I got back the form, and then and with that was most of the paperwork that I'd asked for. They told me that they've got 5 staff with DBS checks. They told me who they were, but I haven't got copies of those certificates. I pointed out that we also needed basic accounts, to which I was told, well, largely really. So I said, that's bit of a surprise, but okay. I'll let councillors know. And then shortly after that, upturns a summary of income spending, which is a bit scanty in its detail, but it seems to indicate that the project runs, it's a £5,000 turnover project, £250 left over from that last year. But we don't really have much in the way of detail on suppliers, how many children attended, things like that. Based on all of that, we are now at the point where we need to decide, do we want to go through with providing the money, which is in the budget, or do we want to impose any restrictions or conditions on the grant?
If I can open that up for discussion.
Well, one thing that springs to mind, Jill Bishop is down as leading, running this Summer Fun Club, but she's very poorly, I understand. So, in her absence, who's going to be in charge of all this if she can't do it?
I take it it's a long-term psych illness as well.
She hasn't been well at all, has she, for some time?
No,
Since
oh, right.
October. The form is it's got her name as the lead. So I'm
All dealings I've had have been with Susie Jack, who's I think also involved. She was one of the names on the DBS checks, that was one of the 5 names I was given.
Mr Chairman, I firmly want the children to have the facilities of a summer fun club.
Oh,
So I
absolutely.
very
Yeah,
much
but no,
want this to be sorted out.
yeah, but no, we